I've recently been a member of Parliament, and I stood down at the last election and thought I could put politics behind me. The election turns up, and now we have, for what my belief is one of the most important decisions that this country is going to make in the last 40 years, and possibly in the next 40 years. I'm pro-Europe. I'm pro our relationship with Europe. But interestingly, every time you say that in the pub, they look at you and think, oh my God. Number one, you're a bureaucrat. You're defending European bureaucrats. Number two, you don't believe in this country, do you? Because it's all those outers that say how fantastic Britain is. They're the ones that haven't got the confidence about this country and where its future lies. Well, all I can say is, being pro-Europe, I feel I'm pretty robust. I'm pretty ambitious. I believe in this country. I believe in this country's future. But let's look at really what Europe needs, because every institution, whether it be Whitehall, Westminster, those dastardly politicians, Brussels, the UN, every organisation needs a bit of reform, to say the least. It needs to be shaken up. And I think we need to ensure that our voice is strong in Europe, because they are our neighbours. We are in Europe, geographically, that we need to shake it all up and ensure that we have a revived, renewed role in Europe, with Britain setting the agenda, as we have so many times before. So when we're told that we don't know how to get our way in Europe, I think we've got to see that we actually develop the single market, that probably many people in this room, even without knowing it, are actually benefiting from. So when people say that we don't have a voice in Europe, where we can't get our way, this is not the case, and we can do it, but it is difficult, and it will always be tough. But I have never been somebody who ran away just because life was tough. But Europe also is opaque. I don't know how many people in this auditorium know or feel that something that's going on in Europe is actually impacting our lives. And Europe has been rubbish at telling us. And what is absolutely crucial is that we, people like myself, make the case that personalises this, that gives you the sense that you have some ownership over Europe itself. What does exit look like? How does the world look like if we came out of Europe? Well, we have one view, which is, let's go back to the 1950s. The lack of equality laws, they set the regulations that gave us paid holidays. I don't think a lot of people would want to give that up. You've then got the other option, which is about having absolute zero regulation. That's not where we want to be. Then there's the third option, which is, of course, the best of everything, where we can have the single market on one hand, we can trade with Europe, but we don't have to comply and we don't have to be part of the EU. We, the United Kingdom, will just receive the regulations with no say. I don't see that that's an option for this country. I believe in this country being greedy, much greedier than those people who want to come out of Europe. Why don't we have Europe and the rest of the world? Germany trades with the rest of the world as much as they do within Europe. We can do the same. It is our ambition that needs to be accentuated. It's our ambition that needs to be highlighted and highly tuned. We will have a referendum in the next 2 years. I hope very much that you will think about what the future of this country is, where it will be strongest, how we can do better, and where we can ensure that we shape a dynamic Europe that serves Britain and the British people much better than it has in the past. Thank you.